This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Thurs Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The B3As has ratified its team for the IAAF World Track and Field Championships in Beijing, China, August 22nd through the 30th. We get that story from Charles Fisher.
It's a 25-member team. For the males, Chavez Hart, Latario Colley-Mins, Alonzo Russell, Jeffrey Gibson, Latoy Williams, Michael Matthew, Levan Sands, Christopher Brown, Teray Smith, Donald Thomas, Ryan Ingram, Trevor Barry, Stephen Gardner, Ramon Miller, Elroy McBride, Warren Frazier, and Jonathan Farquharson. For the females, Shaniqua Q. Ferguson, Bianca Stewart, Adanica Brown, Devin Charlton, Shawnee Miller, Katrina Seymour, Christine Amatil, and Lanice Clark. The management team, head coach Fritz Grant, assisted by Tyrone Burrows, Peter Pratt, and Sean Miller. Team manager, Ralph McKinney. Technical leader, Frank Pancho Ramming. Press attaché and assistant team manager, Philippa Arnett Willie. Team official, Maybelline Miller. Doctor, Dr. Keith Miller. Chiropractor, Dr. Kelly Cramp. And physiotherapist, Khalid Hanna. Also traveling with the team is Vice President Foster Dossett, Secretary General Carl Oliver, and President Mike Sands.
We have a number of our athletes that are ranked in the top 10. And of course, I think they all understand, along with their coaches and their individual coaches and personal coaches and management staff, and they understand what they're up against. And so we are expecting great things from these athletes, and I'm sure they're expecting great things from themselves. I also wish to add that everyone that is on this team will form a part of the relay pool. We were very pleasantly surprised. The women's 4x400 meter team has been invited to participate, and as well as the men's 4x100 meter relay team.
Sands not putting pressure on the athletes to win medals, but to do their best.
Your best to me means meeting your personal best or your season's best. And if you do that, because you would have qualified for the World Championships or whatever, if you meet your personal season's best, then the rest would come.
The team starts leaving as of next week, Monday, for China. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
Thanks a lot, Charles. Now head coach Fritz Grant also gave his take on the team he will be leading into China.
I feel as though the team is going to be a very, very strong team based on the performances of the athletes which I have observed, and we are looking for a very, very, very keen and competitive performances from all of the athletes. And this is the time I feel as though the athletes will be in peak form, because this is the creme of the creme. This is the big one, and I feel as though that they will put their best foot forward, best effort forward, and represent this country to the best of their abilities.
Now the naming of the team for the World Championships still leaving more questions than answers, as no definite word has been given as to who will run the open men's 400 or the women's 4x4.
The coaching staff, that's including the technical director, there will be discussions, and prior to the final deadline, which is the 24 hours prior to the final declarations, those decisions will be made.
Still talking track and field, the Central American and Caribbean Athletic Confederation is no more, and the B3A's president explains where they go from here.
The IAAF recognizes one body, one governing body per area, per region, per member federation. And I use the baseball as an example, that the IAAF will only recognize one federation at a time. And so as a CAC, I think they were like, some things were operating at cross purposes. And so they felt it was best to just focus on one. And the indication is that they will provide funding for NACAC and not CAC. Now it means that we as coaches, administrators have to up our game a little bit more, because there'll be a little bit more competition with United States and Canada. And so that's a good thing, which means that we have to revisit how we do some things. The special call meeting of the NACAC Council will take place in Beijing, and then again in the second week in September, because there are a lot of issues that needs to be ironed out. The calendar is very, very long, thick, and so we have to determine what is going to remain, or how do we combine some. For example, CARIFTA will remain. CARIFTA will remain as CARIFTA. The question now arises, junior CAC obviously will no longer exist. That will now become junior NACAC. concerns have been expressed about what does that do to CAC age group. CAC age group obviously have to be redefined if it is to include NACAC age group, which will include Canada and United States. Or we can debate whether, like CARIFTA, we want to have now maybe a CARIFTA CAC age group so as to keep the sanctity of that particular product that is ours.
The Bahamas Basketball Federation's Summer of Thunder Series back on court yesterday at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. IBA Elite got off to a good start against the UCF Knights. This ball game tied 13-all after the first quarter. However, in the second quarter, the Knights went to work. They gained the advantage, taking a 33-25 lead into the break. The third quarter was pretty even, but in the fourth, the Knights pulled away for good. They finished up with a perfect 3-0 record thanks to an 80-60 victory.
These guys come out and played really well, and thought our team responded. We had 3 or 4 guys who are not here, that are out right now, that are a big part of our team, but it was good for our young guys, got a chance to really grow up a little bit here in the second half. I thought team building was important, a chance to play a lot of different new guys. We got 6 new guys on our team, which was important, and so we got a chance to play some different combinations and have some guys be able to play together for the first time. We're in a great league with a lot of good teams. UConn was defending champions a year ago, and we play great basketball every night. So we were hoping to really get better and grow a lot of these young guys, which I think will help us in the season. But we got expectations. Everybody's goal is always to get the postseason, and we're hoping we can do that this year as well.
Gladiator Championship Wrestling will be in town on Saturday, August 29th for its Bash in the Bahamas show at Arawak Key, and Bahamian Tamiko Wiley will be in the action under the ring name The Trickster Anansi.
I saw him just the other day. He's broadening up, bulking up, they say. And I think the Bahamian public are going to digest to go watch him perform, and we hope that he'll win.
The Bahamas Cycling Federation is pleased with the way the Viva Bahamas Invitational went last weekend here in the capital, and they're now preparing to hit the Family Islands.
We go into Grand Bahama, and then we go in, we just were in Spanish Wells, and we go into, we're thinking about Andres after Grand Bahama. We think it's very important, as you could see, the Bahamas itself. Most persons now, the choice of exercise is riding a bike. And so what we're trying to do is to encompass that with fitness, and persons coming out from the recreational rides and entering into the sport.
And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.